Welcome to BC, British Columbia, Canada. Surprise! There's a ghost town right up the road.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to find your own.
Surprise! Yeah, I'm excited about being here. There's a ghost town right up the road, not like a half mile up the road, so I'm excited to explore that. All kinds of roads and trails for hiking, and look at these views. Look at that. Yeah. So, I don't know how long we're going to be here. Ralph and I are going to part ways here pretty soon. He's going to go do his thing where he lives, visit his friends and stuff, and I need to start heading east. So, yeah, look. There's a raging blue river below us, and all kinds of mining history in the area. Just my kind of spot. So Ralph is over there and I'm over here. Yeah, I like my space. I know, I'm weird. My own camping spot. It's the introvert. I'm an introvert through and through. There. Where's the view? Just wanted to show you from closer. There you go. Nice, huh? So it'll be fun to spend several days here and explore BC. And I was trying to think if, I traveled through British Columbia on my way to Alaska several years ago. And if you haven't seen my Alaska series, I'll put a link below. But I spent at least a couple weeks in BC. Loved it. It's beautiful. Not sure how much hiking I did because I was traveling to Canada, so it was a road trip, whereas this time I'm going to take my time a little bit, especially because I know the middle of the country. Once I get up to like Edmonton and Saskatchewan, it's going to be like the middle of America, so it's going to be like flat, not all that pretty. But I am excited about taking a different route through Canada this year instead of the U.S. I've zigzagged across the U.S. so many times now. I know there's a lot more to see, but I wanted to do something different. And here I am. Canada, baby. Oh, yeah, on the introvert thing. It can be really hard, I know, for a lot of introverts to find people to travel with. And look how long I've been on the road, 9 years. And it is hard to find people to travel with. Ralph is as much as an introvert as I am, although, and I've said this to him, he's a lot more talkative than I am. And, but we have learned to respect each other's space, and we travel together extremely well. We travel because we travel the same, really. The only difference is he's retired and I work. So he gets a lot more free time and I'm very jealous. But, we travel together exactly alike. And this isn't the first time we traveled together. He was part of the Baja crowd, and I met him, the first time I met him years ago after Huck died. I think that was the first time we met, and he came out in a rental in Quartzsite. He's been a viewer for a very, very, very long time. A lot of you recognize his name. I've known him online, I feel like almost since the beginning, almost as long as you, Nancy, I think. And it took years. I mean, I met him in Quartzsite the first time several years ago, and then he came to a couple of my patron-only campouts. I did a 5-year anniversary. I think I did 2 campouts for patrons and a lot of patron meet and greets, so it took a long time for us to get to know each other and for me to feel comfortable traveling together. Same with my Baja buddies. I didn't just say, hey, come travel together. We met up several times at the meet and greets, actually, before we got to know each other, and then decided to travel together. And everybody has a different travel style. Some people love to boondock. Some people love to just go. Some people love to just find a spot like this, explore it until it's explored out, and then move on. And that's exactly how Ralph likes to travel. So we have been working out really well together. I think this is the longest we've ever traveled together. We've been together for a couple months now. I mean, I've traveled with somebody for like 2, other than Baja, which was like a destination thing, but that worked out really well too. Baja was a lot of fun. So yeah, you know what? It can be really hard to find someone to travel with. And I think that the key is to honor yourself, your process, your needs, your boundaries, especially your boundaries, and try, you meet people and try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. No hard feelings, you go your own way. But I think especially as women, oftentimes we fall into traps of feeling like we need to please other people. We need to do what other people want. And that can be an exhausting way to live life, period, but especially if you travel full time, if you're a nomad. So if you are, and I know a lot of people don't want to travel alone, they want to find community. And I would caution, don't sacrifice yourself for the sake of company. And that's whether you're traveling, whether you're looking for friends, in regular life, or you're looking for a partner. Do not sacrifice. I think about, I sacrificed. I'm getting emotional because this has really been coming up a lot lately. I contorted myself into all these iterations, into people I wasn't, in order to please people, because I don't know if I guess I was desperate, but I also just felt that I was supposed to have somebody. I was supposed to have a man. I was supposed to have a mate. I was supposed to have a partner in my life. I was supposed to be married. And that it was my responsibility to make myself into someone that someone else would want. And now, I don't give a fuck. Which is the beauty of having relationships and friendships these days, right? Is like, I think about hanging out with Ralph as long as I have, and boy, and he's just a friend. And back in the day, even just a friend, there would have been like, I have to look a certain way. I need to make sure I'm presentable because maybe, or I need to be pleasing to the male gaze. And now these days, I'm like, this is who I am, and take it or leave it. If it's offensive to you, then move on, in real life and online. If anything about me is offensive, go. And I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of people to understand. I don't care. I actually get lectured sometimes in comments about, it's really rude of you to tell people to just go. Really? I mean, it's really rude of you. Like, I'll tell people, if you don't like me, just go. If you don't like my politics, just go. If you don't like my dirty kitchen, just go. If you don't like the things I say, if you don't like the sound of my voice, if you don't like my dirty hair and my dirty rig, just go. People tell me I should not say that. You shouldn't tell that. That's rude and inconsiderate to your audience. That's how ingrained and indoctrinated women are. And usually I think that's from women. That's how indoctrinated we are to believe that we should shut up and change for other people. We live in a crazy world, but look at that. Freedom. Freedom to explore this, freedom to explore this, and the freedom to be me. So anyway, all that to say, yeah, it's nice to find somebody to travel with. Thanks, Ralph, for being a great travel buddy and a great friend. He's been a really good friend. All right, so welcome to BC. All that. That's my thought this morning. New country, renewed perspective. Hey girl, come on. kind of a river.
We've had a lot of rain since we've been here, and a really big downpour just passed. Starting to get worried I'm going to float away. Of course, I chose the camp spot in the middle of a lake. Look how deep this is.
Wow.
It's running off the road. But it's solid. I'm not going to get stuck or anything. It's fine. It'll dry up before we leave. The stormy weather makes for jaw-dropping views. I just love the fog and the low clouds.
So it's been a little cool and rainy here in BC, in Canada. Yeah, it's been rain. I think we've had rain every day. A little cool. And I bought a ton of veggies. So I'm going to make a veggie soup. And I'm going to try something a little different today that I've never done before. See how it turns out. Save that for later. But right now what I'm doing is cutting up the onions and the celery, lots of celery, the stuff that you don't normally eat when you're snacking on celery, all the leaves and the end of it, trying to use all of it. So that'll make a great base for the soup and the broth. So using all the celery, I'm going to use garlic. I got some beautiful garlic, the giant Canada garlic. Everything seems to be bigger. All the produce is bigger here. And so we'll start that with the base. Wow. And it seems to separate from the skins easier. Probably because it's bigger. Nice. You know what? I'll throw a little bit of the broccoli stalk in too. This is basically going to be the, even though I'm going to add store-bought veggie broth, I guess I'm trying to create as much flavor as I can without it. But little extra flavor. So yeah, I'll cut up the stalk super small. I need to sharpen my knife. My knife's getting a little dull. So I love veggie soup, but it can be a little hard to get a lot of flavor in it with the veggie broth even. I don't like mushrooms, so I never cook with mushrooms, you might notice. I hate mushrooms. Despise them. Everything about them. The flavor, the texture, I hate them. So, always hated them ever since I was a kid. That's one thing I have not outgrown. And since I'm making such a big pot of soup, I will use a little oil. You know, I'm trying to cut down on my oil. Let's use a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. All right. Got all kinds of tricks for adding flavor to my vegetable soup that we will incorporate. All right. Alright, so one thing to add flavor is miso, and I bought some red miso just to try it. So I'll throw some of the, actually, you know what I should do first is mix it with some hot water to dissolve it. I'll do that first. Once everything is cooked down and before I add any liquid, I'm going to add some spices to cook them up a little bit. Oh, let me see. I'll do a little coriander. Why not? We'll try it. Coriander is actually an ingredient in curry. We'll add a little garlic powder. Why not? We'll add... What else should I add? How about a little smoked paprika? Little white pepper. Actually, you know what? I'll add that later because it'll go up into the air and make us cough. Let me see. I'm gonna add a little ground mustard, and I'm just adding a couple. I'm just adding whatever, and I'll stir this up to cook it. Learned this on the cooking channel. It cooks the spices so they don't taste raw and kind of funky. And it adds umami. Alright. So I'm going to add a lot of miso. Miso is fermented soy, in case you don't know. It's supposed to be good for you. I am going to add a can of crushed tomatoes. If I had fresh tomatoes, I would add fresh tomatoes, but I don't, so I forgot to buy some. So we'll just throw in a can of tomatoes. Oh, these are crushed. Oh, shoot. Chopped would be better. Go ahead and add a little tomato. So if crushed tomatoes is going to be too tomato pasty, it's going to make it too tomatoey. You know, whereas I really just wanted chunks of tomato, so I didn't put a lot in because I don't want it to be too tomatoey. Maybe I'll add more later. But now I'm going to add the broth. We'll see how it tastes. If it's got enough flavor, I might just be able to add water to the rest instead of another thing of broth. But I'll probably need more broth. I forgot I bought some fresh basil, so I threw that in. And you know what else? I'll throw some oregano in too. I'll use broth. So now I'm gonna cut up the vegetables for the, you know, the chunky veggie part. So some more celery, you know, in chunks. I threw some red lentils in too, because they cook really fast and boil down and they're almost like creamy. So there's that. All right, we're just gonna let it cook. Doesn't that look amazing? So my secret ingredient are red lentils, and I also threw in a couple handfuls of rice. I usually use brown rice. I seem to be out. I don't know how that happened, unless I just can't find it. So I have white rice here just in case Sadie ever gets an upset stomach. So I threw in a couple handfuls of white rice. And white rice, what else? Garbanzo beans and red lentils make it almost like a stew. Yeah, so it looks really good, doesn't it?
Yum. It turned out really good. But you know what? It's going to be even better tomorrow. All right, I'm going to sit down and eat dinner. Yay, the sun is out. Still a little cloudy, but it's gorgeous out. So let's go walk down the road toward the beginning of the ghost town. Let's go look around. The days when an independent miner with a pick, shovel, and a gold pan could successfully work on the Wildhorse River were short-lived. After the initial boom from 1864 to 1865, miners needed powerful equipment and extensive capital to find the gold. This is the site of the first hydraulic plant on the Wild Horse Creek. The pipe that was used here was similar to an engine hose and could withstand pressure of 250 pounds a square inch. And it acted like literally like a pressure washer, just blasting the hillside away to expose the gold underneath.
So all this was blasted out.
Bob Dorr, who had the capital to install the first hydraulic plant here, produced $521,700 over the first 3 years of mining his claim. You want to know what that's worth today? It's worth more than $10 million today. 3 years of work, $10 million in gold. Wild Horse River was worked by both European and Chinese miners. The river has been a significant British Columbia gold processing stream. In fact, lucky Mike Reynolds in the 1860s found a 1,021-gram gold nugget. For those of us in the U.S., that's 36 ounces. That's a big gold nugget, and it's the largest one ever recovered on the river. This is the Fisherville Cemetery, also known as the Wild Horse Creek Cemetery. There are about 20 to 75 graves here, and you'll notice they don't have any names on them. The graves are just denoted by a blank wooden cross. There are a couple that are identified, and you've seen the signs here. One was Johnny Walker, who died in a gunfight in 1864. There were also a lot of Chinese miners in the area. They have a separate graveyard. I'll talk more about that later.
You know, I just read that quote by the guy who came from Wales on a ship, embarked or landed in San Francisco, and every person on the ship abandoned to go dig for gold. Remember that video I did a while ago about Utah State Park, $25 fee, and how the rich, wealthy class has really taken everything from us? And I think a couple of you pointed out, and I hadn't even thought about it, that isn't paying fees to go into parks double taxation? Because we already pay taxes to protect our common public good. But anyway, my thought today is there would never be another gold rush in North America, in the United States and Canada, because I'm thinking lithium. Imagine there could be a lithium rush, right? People see that there's lithium and there's use for it, but there will never be anything like that again. There will never be an opportunity for the average person to risk everything to hope to build a better life for themselves through the land. That we will never have another gold rush. At least not in this version of society. Sad. It's sad when you really think about all that has been taken from the people. Oh, look at this. It's so pretty up here. Hi, you can't taste beer. Good girl. Just leave it alone. Let it go. Very good. Look at me. Look at me. Look, good girl. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Thank you so much. I know, I wish I had some chicken for you. I used to carry treats in my pockets all the time. Very good. Very good. You are so good. Hey, leave it alone. Just gonna go look for it. Good girl, Sadie girl. Very good.
Reading, or you're overexposed towards what is reading or what is...
Wanna go for a walk? You wanna go for a walk? Oh, nope, we can't walk here. Come on, Sadie, you gotta go back. Sometimes the freedom of living life in an RV on the road isn't that free if you have a dog. All right, Sadie girl, I'll be right back. I'm not gonna be too long. I never want to leave Sadie behind. I really would love to be able to take her everywhere with me, but that's just not the world we live in. But luckily, with the Waggle Pet Monitor and their brand new RV 4G mini cam, I don't have to be too far away. All I have to do is look at my phone and I can see her, see what she's up to, make sure she's safe. And also with the Waggle Pet Monitor, I can monitor in real time what the temperature is, what the humidity is, what the heat index is, and I can set it up that I can get live alerts if it gets too hot or too cold or too humid in there. I know that I need to hurry back. And now with the brand new RV 4G mini cam, all I have to do is look at my phone and I can see her sweet little face and know that she's safe. This brand new 4G mini cam has a built-in SD card, so it runs on its very own autonomous 4G signal. It'll connect to AT&T or T-Mobile or Verizon, whatever is strongest in the area, so that you can always stay connected to your pet. It doesn't matter what your cell phone carrier is, the mini cam is going to pick up whatever is the strongest cell signal around. So it doesn't matter what you have. And look at, I know that she's safe. You never have to worry about running out of power because the 4G minicam runs on its own rechargeable battery that has super long life, but you can also connect it to these little solar panels and just put it right up in your windshield. And the RV minicam also has a motion detector, so it'll alert you if there is human motion. It'll also let you know if your dog is moving around. And it's got this handy magnetic stand so you can mount it almost anywhere. Go ahead and get your Waggle pet monitor today. You're going to get 75% off the pet monitor using the link in the video description below and using my discount code SADIE. And if you want to get the mini cam, which is an excellent addition to the Waggle family of devices to keep your pet safe, use discount code
SADIE10
and get 10% off the camera and all the bundle deals. The bundle deals are great deals, so bundle them all together for more peace of mind. Thanks Waggle for sponsoring today's video.
This is a good exposure.
You're such a good girl. Thank you. That was very good. You just laid right down.
It's a good day to go find the ghost town and hopefully make it down to the river. It looks like there is a trail that goes, it's a loop trail, I think, and it goes past some of the sites of the old town and all the way down to the river. Might rain a little bit, but that's okay. That's what rain jackets are for. Fisherville is an historic site about 30 minutes from Cranbrook, British Columbia. It's the first town in the East Kootenays that was settled by non-natives. In 1864, a group led by Jack Fisher discovered gold along the banks of Wild Horse Creek. Once word got out about the discovery of gold, miners flocked to the area. And by fall of 1864, over 1,000 miners lived in the town. Not long after that, the town developed to about 5,000 people and boasted 6 general stores, 4 saloons, a number of restaurants, a brewery, and hundreds of miner shacks. There isn't even much left of the Chinese cemetery. It's just a slant on a hill with a sign and divots in the ground where the Chinese exhumed the bodies of the Chinese immigrants here and repatriated them back to China. It is a tradition of Chinese people to be buried in their homeland. Ralph and I walked the trail all the way down to the river. Everything is so overgrown, we didn't even see foundations or anything. There's not a lot left of the old town.
I see you.
The problem on that side is there's claims. So there's an actual, what's it called, a nip and tuck gold mine on that side, active.
Oh my God. It's cold. See any gold? See any gold, city girl? See any? Is there gold? You want to get it? Oh, that's her gold. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, everything else is rotted away.
Sadie, you're so funny.
So these are the remains of a hunting lodge and summer cottage built about 1924 for William Astor Drayton, nephew of the famous John Jacob Astor of New York. His wife, Australian-born Mrs. Drayton, she didn't have a first name, came to live in the Kootenays from 1930 to 1944. They lived in a large home across from Fort Steele Heritage Town, which is quite down the hill from here. And Drayton had the last hydraulic placer operation on Wild Horse Creek.
Wow. Just the chimney left.
David Griffiths used to live here. He was an early settler of Fisherville. He played a role in the town's development by planting the first apple orchard in the East Kootenays. This fireplace that's still here was built with shale from the riverbed down below. He also operated a post office and oversaw the tin field from his home.
140-something-year-old apple tree. Wow.
I was there, and they surprised me without fail every single day at visiting hours in the middle of
So Sadie just had her first outdoor bear encounter.